Good evening to all of you. And if there are any women on this talk show, happy Women's Day to all of them. I am Gurudatta D. Bhakta, managing partner of a company called Cazcar. I am neither an agriculturist nor a horticulturist, but I use the maximum produce of the horticulture, that is the cashew fruit. Cazcar is a heritage distillery located in North Goa, 30 kilometers from the capital city of Panji. We are basically producing or distilling FENI from the cashew apple. This apple, as you know, is grown in abundance in Goa, coastal parts of Karnataka, Kerala, also in Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. But it is only in Goa that the cashew fruit is put to use. The GI for cashew has been obtained by the state of Goa, and Cazcar is the first distillery to obtain a patent of GI for one of its products. Why should cashew apples be wasted in the rest of India? It is a produce that can generate income for the grower. Of course, it may not generate as much as the cashew nut gives you, but it is a sizable amount that can be recovered in the next couple of months. The going rate now, right now in Goa, is about 5,000 rupees per ton. And every kilo of cashew nut, you require probably 20 kilos of apple. So multiply and see the amount that is wasted in the entire country. Of course, there are excise regulations. In Goa, the entire cashew apple industry is regulated by the Department of Excise. The cashew apple is auctioned by the excise department. An area is auctioned. The area may belong to government, to forest department, to private individuals or companies. But the apples in that area are auctioned by the excise department at a particular value. Now that value is considered as the excise license fee, which empowers a particular person to utilize the cashew apples of that area to extract the juice and to distill FENI. Now only in Goa you will find this happening. In coastal Maharashtra or coastal Karnataka, which is bordering Goa, the apples are simply wasted. Why should this be a national waste? Can some entrepreneurs not take up this distilling of FENI? In fact, today the government of India is using ethanol in petrol. The quantity has gone up to 10% of ethanol in petrol. So maybe somebody can think of producing, if not potable liquor, they can also think of developing ethanol out of this particular produce. The only problem is this is limited to 50 days in a year. After 50 days, we have other products which we produce, otherwise the unit does not become viable. In Cazcar, we have people coming from Mozambique and from these African countries where abundance of cashew is grown, and they have tried to emulate what we are doing. Now, I am basically here because of Dr. Desai from the Indian Council of Agricultural Research Institute that is in Ella, Goa. We have been tying up with them. They have been visiting us for quite some time. There is another Dr. Barbude also. We have developed certain techniques of fermentation, blah, blah, blah. So in the meantime, I have a video which will give you a complete pictorial view of what is happening. I would request the admitter to kindly put on the video. With the sound, please. I'm not hearing the sound. I hope others are able to hear the.
GI
Yeah, thank
application
you.
will find in the Office of the Science and Technology. Cashews on auctions be conducted by the officials of the Excise Department. Winning bidder happily moves to make the payment and obtain receipt of recording his right to distill during the season. A sacred gumti demarcates the village boundary of Cazcar in Nanora, North Goa. The cashew tree is medium-sized with leathery broad leaves, flowers emerging, developing pedicule into apples of various shapes and colors, pale green, reddish to yellow. The kato or the stick with thorn used for picking apples is handmade from the galio tree as it is ideally suited. Cazcar reveals the art and labor involved in the century-old eco-friendly process of distilling handcrafted FENI. The harvesting of apples begins in the afternoon, both men and women with cane baskets in tow and armed with the kato, off goes these Cazcars into the grooves on the hills. Only ripe cashew apples, which are followed on the ground, are picked and placed in the basket, which is like poetry in action. Headload of apples being brought downhill to the kolbi. In the kolbi, the separation of the fruit and nut is done by hand, and almost the entire family is at work during the 3 months of the season. The apples are then weighed and recorded by the Cazcar representative and paid subsequently as per the rate notified by the Excise Department. Once recorded, the apples are loaded onto the vehicle, which then moves to the next point of collection, where the same process continues. The fully loaded vehicle proceeds to Cazcar, where the apples and juice are unloaded into the kolbi, which is made from natural unpolished granite stone. Care is taken to use only stainless steel implements. The extraction of juice from the apples begins with the loading of the hopper continuously. The pulp is then transferred to stainless steel basket press for extraction of the remaining sugars and Nero, or the nectar of cashew apple, a popular drink among the locals. Extracted juice is then pumped into ceramic tile fermenters for natural anaerobic fermentation. Cazcars have adopted this fermentation technology, developed in collaboration with the Indian Council of Agricultural Research Institute, Goa, to meet the international standards for GI. Making of the corn or batti is laborious but eco-friendly by experienced artisans. A mixture of select mud, hay and water, pounded by feet to the required consistency is first prepared. Later chloride stones are set for placing the copper barn or copper kettle. The barn is applied with ash so as to help heat spread evenly and prevent the juice from getting burned. The corn, bhatti, starts taking form. The plantain tree also goes in the making of the corn. Measuring the depth for perfecting the requirement of heat. Clay roof tiles works as cladding and retains heat. The fully finished corn being given the final polishing touches. The tikne or wooden support being prepared for placing the launi, the clay pot receiver. The nalli or pipe is a hollow branch from the bodke tree through which the vapor passes. The nalli is connected to the barn and launi attached. Lighting of the wick lamp and a prayer to the omnipresent before commencement. Placing the wood and igniting the fire. Series of corns, distillation in process. Only Cazcars use copper coil for condensation. FENI collected in jerry cans, which is then stored in tanks in the barn. The launi clay pot being cooled with water for condensing the vapors. The most prized and rare FENI launi. The various spices and herbs that go into the making of masala FENI. Sorting of spices and herbs in coconut oil. Stone grinding the sorted spices and herbs. The grounded spices and herbs, almost a kilo, being tied in a muslin cloth goes into the barn. After pouring the required fermented juice, the stopper is placed and sealed tight for distillation to commence. The final FENI of the day being checked for strength and flavor. Once once the season comes to an end, the corn which has been built laboriously has to be dismantled. The gaonkar is offered a fowl, coconut, and bottle of FENI. He performs a smaller ritual and symbolically breaks the corn, which is later fully dismantled, and the process restarts in the coming year. Cazcars also have a modern setup of steam generating boiler, fully SS reactor kettle, copper carbon columns, and SS blending vessel. The process of washing, filling, sealing, and packing with utmost care. All products of Cazcar are analyzed by the public health laboratory and certified. Cheers. Going Sosoro, Jivak Moro. Go on FENI, good for health.
Thank you, Rajani. I think the viewers must have understood what it is. So if you have any particular questions, I am there to answer. In the meantime, also, if you go to Google Play Store and type CAZCAR, there is an app there. If it's a free app, you download it. You will have all details, contact details and product details. The video is there in that app, so you can kindly download. Now I am ready to take any questions that are there in the audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your talk and video. It was very informative. I will take up the questions from the participants, sir. The first question is, other than Goa, is there any other regions where FENI is prepared?
No.
So
only in Goa, FENI is produced. No other state in India produces any kind of liquor from cashew apple. The apple is totally wasted.
Okay. Move on to the next question, sir. What is the minimum investment required for starting this project?
It will depend on how you want to do and what you want to do. We have two parts to it. One is the traditional method of handcrafting FENI, and the other is the modern method. You will have to basically go for the modern method because you will not get artisans who are knowledgeable enough to produce in the handcrafted method. So if you are going for a modern method, then again it will depend on the number of tons that you are going to utilize per day, whether it is 5 tons or 10 tons or 20 tons. Depending upon the tonnage, I will be able to give you a fair investment value. For that, you need to get in touch with me through our email ID, and after getting some more details from you, I can understand things and give you some indication. Thank you.
Okay, sir. We'll be sharing your contact details. Participants will get in touch with you.
Sure.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question, sir. Do you provide consultancy for entrepreneurs wanting to set up this project?
We are not professionally doing that, but certainly anyone who is interested, we can definitely guide. We have done it for Mozambique, and we have done it for another country outside India who are interested. They have come, they have got trained with us during the season, they have gone back and done. So such kind of an assistance we can definitely think of. No, we want to help people to produce something out of the waste. We are there.
Okay. The next question is, what exactly does your company Cazcar in Nanora, Goa do?
The word Cazcar means cashew man. It's a Konkani Portuguese name, Cazcar, the one who tends to the forest and the horticulture area. is called Cazcar. And what we do, we have entirely shown you in the video. Basic product is FENI from cashew apples. We have got other products also. Grain, we do grain spirits, we do ready to drink products. We have a number of products which we do, which if you download our app, you will get all details on that. Thank you.
Okay. So one of our participants, Mr. Madhiyaragan, is asking whether it is categorized as a beverage or alcoholic liquor.
Alcoholic beverage is the right word.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question, sir. Is FENI exported from India?
Yes. We at Cazcar are exporting to the United States. We are in 7 states in America. In 7 states of America, our product is available.
Okay. And the next question is, are there any incentives and subsidies provided by the government?
The government of Goa has declared cashew FENI as heritage spirit of Goa. So they do not apply any taxes on the produce, that is distilled product. Now, as a distiller, if you produce something, there is no taxes on that. But when you bottle and when you sell in the market, definitely there is a bottling fee and there are certain charges that need to be paid. And that is also kept at minimum. That is the only way the government of Goa is encouraging, because the government of Goa feels that we should develop FENI to the level of Russian vodka and Mexican tequila. That is the policy of the government. The last 2-3 years, they have started applying that. Thank you.
Okay. The next question is, where does the sales takes place? Inside Goa alone or also in other states?
Presently, we are only in the state of Goa and exporting to other countries, not in India.
Okay. The next question is, where do you buy the cashew apple raw material from?
Where our distillery is located, a 10 kilometers radius is allotted to us by the government of Goa. So our vehicles move around this 10 kilometers radius every day in the evening, and the produce of that particular area is collected. Besides that, if someone is supplying us or is interested in supplying, we definitely receive and take that also. We pay at 5,000 rupees a ton. We are now collecting the apples.
Okay. I'll take up the next question, sir. Is FENI today made from coconuts?
Coconut FENI is also produced in Goa. It is not coconut, it is coconut palm. It's not the coconut. From the coconut tree, just like you have sur, what they call sur in other parts of India, from that coconut FENI is produced.
Okay. Let me check if we have any further questions, sir. I don't see any further questions.
Okay.
Sir, would you like to add on any other points, sir?
No, nothing more, because we have got the questions.
Okay.
And I have been giving talks through ICAR also, but I don't find anybody interested in developing a distillery to produce FENI other than Goa. No one else is interested. There are difficulties, of course. The government also you need to tackle, which is a big problem. But as of now, it's only Goa.
Okay.
Thank you, Rajani. Thank you, Miss, for giving me the opportunity to speak to people.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Mr. Gurudatta Bhakta for the talk and for answering the questions. I like to also thank the participants in the meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, sir. Bye.